Asteroid City is a 2023 American comedy-drama film written, directed and produced by Wes Anderson from a story he wrote with Roman Coppola. It features an ensemble cast including Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Jeffrey Wright, Tilda Swinton, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Adrien Brody, Liev Schreiber, Hope Davis, Steve Park, Rupert Friend, Hawke, Steve Carell, Matt Dillon, Chau, Willem Dafoe, Margot Robbie and Jeff Goldblum. Its metatextual plot simultaneously depicts the events of Junior Stargazer convention in a retrofuturistic version of 1955, staged as a play and a creation of the play. It's Anderson's homage to popular memory and mythology about extraterrestrials and UFOs witnessed in the Southwestern desert in close proximity to atomic test sites during the post-war period of the American 20th century. The project was announced in September 2020 as an untitled romance film, with Anderson writing, producing and directing alongside Jeremy Dawson of American Empirical Pictures and Stephen Rails of Indian Paintbrush. In February 2021, it was described as being about a group of brainy teenagers. Originally set in Rome, filming took place in Spain between August and October 2021, with cinematographer Robert D. Yeoman. Several sets in Chinchon resembling a desert landscape and a mock train station were used. Post-production included editor Barney Piling and a score composed by frequent Anderson composer Alexander Desplat, featuring country and western songs from many artists. The official title was revealed in October 2021 at the BFI London Film Festival. Asteroid City premiered the 76th Cannes Film Festival on May 23, 2023, where it competed for the Palme d'Or. It began a limited theatrical release via Focus Features in the United States on June 16, 2023, before expanding to a wide release a week later. It grossed over $46 million worldwide against a $25 million budget. Tilda Swinton became the first person to officially join the cast in June 2021. In May 2023, Anderson talked about how the COVID-19 pandemic inspired the film and its story, saying, "I don't think there would have been a quarantine in the story if we weren't experiencing it in real life. It was a deliberate choice I made. Writing is the most improvisational part of the whole process. It relies on having nothing." Some trivia notes. At one point, a radio off-screen plays Slim Whitman's Indian Love Call, the song that killed all the alien invaders in Mars Attacks in 1996. Bill Murray was originally cast in Steve Carell's role, but contracted COVID-19 shortly before filming. He had to withdraw from the production. This is actually the second time Carell has taken over a role from Murray, as Murray was the first choice for the role of Frank in Little Miss Sunshine in 2006. This is also the first time a Wes Anderson film has not featured Bill Murray since Bottle Rocket in 1996. Wes Anderson revealed that Jason Schwartzman listened to tapes by different personalities to create the voice and character of Augie Stenbeck. Stanley Kubrick's voice was one of them, and the character's appearance, particularly his beard, seems to be inspired by Stanley Kubrick's look, too. Wes Anderson based the character of Midge Campbell, played by Scarlett Johansson, on Marilyn Monroe. He wrote the character with Scarlett Johansson particularly in mind. Johansson said she had no problem filming her full frontal nude scene, however she said it was awkward as director Wes Anderson was too embarrassed to do it. Now, to say that this film is somewhat offbeat and somewhat eccentric would be an understatement, but then again, all of Wes Anderson's films generally are. I did find, however, this one didn't have much of a strong story as, say, some of his previous films. Now, I'm a big fan of Wes Anderson's particular type of filmmaking. He's very unique and different, and all of his films definitely have his style put on them. But this one is unlikely to win over any new converts to Wes Anderson's unique style of filmmaking. But for those who enjoy his signature style, they will eat this one up. One thing I love about Wes Anderson movies is he's very stylistic, and there's so much detail in every frame. And his films are incredibly self-indulgent. But what he does do, though, is bring out the best in the cast. As you can see, the actors just love working with him. That's why, of course, he has so many frequent collaborators, as it were, from the likes of Jason Schwartzman. Anderson is not a conformist. He seems to make movies for himself, and he's one of those that doesn't really follow the critics. But there's a point to all of his self-indulgence, and there's a reason why his films are so unique and work so well. The usual Wes Anderson aspects are in this film: the vibrant color palette, the quirky characters and strange dialogue, the precise production design, tracking shots and camera movements, whimsical soundtracks and narrative framing. Of course, also the emphasis on family and relationships. And as so often in Wes Anderson films, it invokes a sense of nostalgia and really does transport you back to the 1950s in this case. For me, this is probably one of Wes Anderson's most self-indulgent films and stories that he's told. It's by no means one of his best works, but it's still enjoyable in a quirky, strange sort of way and charms you into liking it. This is really a film for Anderson diehard fans only. And even though it has a wonderful ensemble cast, the story is somewhat thin and a bit just offbeat. But it's one of those films that you sit back, relax, and just smile and enjoy. Strange, eccentric, and really an atypical Wes Anderson type of film. Asteroid City gets a 7.5 out of 10.